Ian writes in and says, hey, crew, this is Ian Pierce from Charlottesville, Virginia, the very same.
Hello.
He says, you guys are always a joy to listen to. Thank you. You're welcome. Last week, you guys had an email about spiderless fantasy games, but nobody mentioned one of my favorite franchises that happens to be 100% spiderless, Fable. Speaking of which, do you think Fable 4 could level the playing field for Microsoft if and when it is announced? Nintendo has a comfortable spot in this race, I believe. Sony is leading in sales and first-party games. Microsoft needs some killer games. Which games would you like to see strictly on Xbox One? Interesting that he asked about Fable 4. This email came in before Eurogamer talked about the rumor going around there that actually the Forza Horizon team is making an open-world Fable game.
It's the festival atmosphere.
What do you guys think about that? What do you want from the next Fable game?
I want a next Fable game, so we can at least get that out of the way. I do want it to exist.
True open world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I would go.
Obvious.
I think it's a really cool choice for the development team behind it. I love Forza Horizon 3 in particular, and the idea that this team that's basically making a car RPG now, it's like, all right, just remove the cars, remove all racing. You know how to make beautiful worlds, side quests, you got it all down. Radio stations, you're the masters.
Yep.
Now make a Fable game.
You know what you do is you find all the pre-release hype coverage from the first Fable and make that game.
Oh, it's like the
smart
equivalent
man.
of like going back to like the Ralph McQuarrie art for Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I'm actually going to carve my freaking initials on this tree.
Yeah, they could plant a seed as a child and it grows.
I got a
when
dang
you're adult.
scar.
Oh, because that was the pitch with the first Fables, that you can grow up throughout it and it'll
Yeah.
leave all these remnants. Oh, that's awesome.
You
And-
did grow up. I feel like I think in the second and the third one, you aged some, but you didn't start as a kid.
Well, the 2 you did. 3
In
you
2
did not.
Okay, in
Yeah.
3 you didn't for sure.
Which was a big mistake.
And I kind of missed that actually.
It's such a rare thing, aging in RPGs, and I feel like it's awesome. Dragon Quest V, I feel like that's maybe the number one reason people really remember that game, because it's such a cool, unique structure that throughout that entire game, you're getting older and older and older. And the idea of doing that in an ambitious open world, hopefully set in Australia, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What Fable you want to be set in Australia?
Forza Horizon 3 reference, I guess.
The one thing, the game has like a weird sense of humor, so I wonder if they're going to try to emulate that, or if they're going to try to make it more serious, or if like there are some former Lionhead people there that are writing.
I say keep the goofy English humor. I
I like it. I think they could almost take a lot of the story and stuff that they developed for that multiplayer game. Like they had a lot of like character designs and like backstories and all kinds of stuff, and they could probably just ape some of that to inject into the game.
All right, so take that lore, take that backstory, and then take the original concepts from Fable 1's just garbage coming out of Molyneux's mouth early in the development. Dude, or that's
Would
all
they
you-
have to list him as a creative influence, like as like a creative director? Or
But if they
something in
have
that
the
game?
license for Fable, and that was stuff that he was talking about for the development of Fable 1, you think that they don't have to
I think
go
they
out of
probably
their
wouldn't
way.
have to. But the fact that like it's all his like ideas and game.
I think the
plan.
credits would say like Fable originally created by Peter Molyneux or something like that. Like in the same way Stan Lee gets a credit in Guardians of the Galaxy. Right?
Yeah,
You
or
know?
Molyneux can come in with his fart app and just start farting up a storm.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
okay, overall tone, open world, aging,
Dog.
Humor. Dog,
Humor.
yes.
Some kind of
Different
companion.
breeds.
Maybe you could have multiple different companions you could choose from.
Yeah.
Also, I would like a seamless aging process, because in the Fable you always jump from kid to like teenager and then jump to adult, and you're grown. But it'd be nice if you like slowly grew bigger over time.
or quickly. Just like it's a constant rotation, like it's like a day-night cycle in a game.
Yeah, day night.
Are you talking like a were-child?
What's
that?
happening?
You're like a were-child?
Yeah, so you start out like a baby, and then you can see yourself growing up, and then you get old and slow down, and then you become a new person. It's just this constant
So you're saying like
cycle.
go through like a different people. Like you play as the father, then the child, and the child of the child, and the child of the child of the child.
Sure, why the hell not?
Sure, it's
We're spitballing here like Molyneux. Let's say that's in the
Yeah.
game. Absolutely.
But yeah, I want to play that.
It's exciting news. It is. He's totally right, Ian, is that, I mean, Microsoft could use a big game like this, and especially now that Scalebound is out of the works, like they still have that open world RPG slot that they could really make Fable work well for.
Yeah, it will not level the playing field though. It'll be a good game that Xbox owners will be happy to play, and PC owners will say, "Oh, I'm going to play this. I don't know why I need to buy an Xbox," and we'll all have a good time, and it won't change the the platform race at all.
Also, I mean, Forza Horizon 3, if the team is in fact working on it, I mean, that was 2016. So I would not expect this game for another couple of years for sure. So keep it in the same ballpark as like a Pokemon RPG on Switch.
Maybe an E3 tease or something.
Really? This year?
Man.
No. No way.
Well, I didn't read the rumor, but did they say they'd been working on it, or like this is early on?
I'd imagine they would have started
you have-
after Forza Horizon 3, but I don't know.
You have to assume it's pretty early on. Yeah, Forza and then Forza DLC probably they did for a little while. Right?
It's also cool to see the Forza series. If this is true, get out of that rotation of every other year. Because like, how many times can you jump back and forth and confuse what the Forza brand's all about?
Yeah.
3
I also,
years.
I also
Yeah,
like
that's
seeing
true.
those like developers that are locked into a genre. Like you think, it's like, they only do racing. For them to like do RPG, I think is cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to see them try something new.
Yeah.
Like when EA Tiburon did the Superman game.
Yeah, the Madden guys did Superman. It turned out great.
Everyone does their own thing.
Don't try. Is what Reeves is trying to say.
Only do.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.